Unless you were a good guy and you got my list for me.
I didn't get your list for you. I'm not a
Yeah,
good
that's what I
guy.
thought.
I'm not a good guy.
I
I'm no
deleted it
Superman.
yesterday.
Oh my god.
You deleted it?
Yeah, because I didn't know if we were actually coming back to it.
Oh.
I wrote mine down on paper, so I couldn't delete it.
Bitch ass paper, bitch.
I mean, you could still delete that. I can help you.
Hey. No.
Step 1, open window. Step 2, release.
Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I'm Lucky.
Here I go! This hand of mine is burning red!
And I'm Michael. Realize the only ones who should kill are those who are prepared to be killed.
Johnny. Your darkness swallowed up my son? Who decided that?
Erupting! Burning!
Now all of you.
Die.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Anime Casuals. I am Lucky.
And I am the next guy called Michael.
I am Johnny, I think.
We better figure that out before I say that we are Anime Casuals. Welcome back to the casual discussion where we talk about everything through a casual lens. I don't know if you can talk through a casual lens. Don't you see it through a casual lens? I don't know. Anyway,
metaphor,
yeah, a
right?
lens you look through, so I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Anyway, that's gonna just. Wow, you guys look so great. But yeah, so basically we're going to be doing a little behind the scenes action right now. So we actually recorded this a while ago, probably 2 weeks ago, and it didn't come out the best in terms of audio. You guys probably remember the casual discussion I think a couple of weeks ago where I ended up having an echo on my damn audio, and I ended up doing it again. I didn't feel like you guys wanted to go through that again, so we decided to go ahead and reshoot this. So
funny story. Literally, our last casual discussion we recorded just Johnny and Michael, but our audio was muted the entire time, so we had no audio. So it was released on Wednesday. So it's a good thing we're figuring this out now.
Exactly. So this totally not redone casual discussion topic is
First time.
Positive and negatives of anime, kind of stuff that we would like to keep in anime and stuff that we would like to keep out if at all possible. But Michael, since you came up with this topic literally the other day, we'll go ahead and go with you first.
A wink. If this episode gets 1,000 likes, we will release the other recording and all of no.
Which I totally didn't delete.
Definitely not, and we definitely won't re-record it with better discussion. Okay, anyways, so some positives, some negatives. We still have floating ghost orbs going around at my place. The first one, absolutely, that needs to be removed and causes much grievance to me when I watched anime. When I watch anime, is lollies. We need to get rid of all the lollies. And this will actually lead into another point I have in the future. But I'm gonna start with negatives because boo anime, you're a mistake. Get out of here. Anyways,
whoa,
generalization.
The biggest thing with lollies, the only time I've ever saw that they made sense, but I still didn't like them, was when it's like, oh, you're a 1,000-year-old little girl. It's like, why? In what world does this make sense? Are you a different race? Are you a different species? What's going on? But every version of demons, they're not tiny people. They're all big and thick and strong, right? You got an angel. Why does it gotta be a lolly? It doesn't make so much sense either. Angels are supposed to be perfection themselves. Innocent, I guess. But then they could just be kids.
Wow.
You said something too quickly. But most of the time with lollies, there's no good reason why they have to, be kid-like. But then someone goes, you know what? Let's also put some sexy clothes on them for some reason. Why? There's a few people out there that like Beatrice. Perfect. She just looks adorable or cute. There's no I guess depending on who you are and your fetish, but there's no sexiness about her. She's just an adorable, like 600-year-old spirit thing. And most of the time, I think that if that's done right, that's great. That's fine. Well, you don't need to go around trying to inadvertently make like these children-looking people 1,000 years old. There's no reason for it. In Restaurant to Another World, there's like two halflings. They're husband and wife, and they both look like kids, but they're not going around wearing like skin tight clothing and like lingerie. It's like the person who's writing this anime is like, oh, they're just, they could be like 50 years old, but they look like kids, like hobbits from Lord of the Rings. So remove lollies now, anime, get rid of them because they're permanently gone forever and we'll forever blink them out of our mindscape.
Or will
I'll be
we?
Yeah.
They'll always be back.
Well, and I think the negatives we're thinking about permanently removed from anime and our positives we want for every anime. I think that was what I said before. I mean,
Let's hope
yesterday.
so. Let's hope so.
Personally, I think every anime can deal with a good dose of some fan service. I think everybody likes fan service, and it deserves its place in everything. No, if anything, I like fan service because it can keep things light, and it doesn't necessarily, because I know there are a lot of people out there who are like, oh, fan service, I hate that. But I mean, I don't feel like it ruins an anime. I mean, if anything, because I was thinking about it earlier, the biggest thing that I would, I guess, gain if there really wasn't any fan service was, I don't know, they would just make more scenes. I don't know. I just don't think we'd get enough like action scenes if you took all the fan service out. I feel like we would just get a lot more talking scenes, which are fine. There's nothing wrong with dialogue, but I mean, if you're going to, I don't know. I feel like there's better ways to use that space if you're going to take it out. So I don't know. I choose fan service because,
A nice positive.
yeah, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. So Johnny wants
Nice.
fan service in all anime.
So Michael went with the negative. Johnny went with the positive. What do
Now
I
it's your
do
turn.
here?
Go
How do
neutral.
Man, I feel like mommy and daddy are breaking up, and I don't know which one to choose. Let's see here. I just because I thought it would be a good like I guess I don't know what clip I'm gonna be using for the beginning of this, so who fucking knows if this goes well with it? Because there was a couple things that we said before. The mics were hot, so to speak, even though they were hot the whole time. But it's incest. Me and Michael have been talking about this. Actually, will be if you guys checked out our weekend talk on Friday, you guys will know that
deleting this off my list.
we were talking about Cousins, and it's even worse than Cousins, man. I mean, Cousins is bad, but once it gets into brother sister territory, I mean, then you start getting the eye bleach out, trying to pierce your eardrums with anything near you, or Baki style, just fucking tear them apart.
Like the
So
anime
that
you watched.
yeah, so that you just never have to deal with this ever again. It's pretty bad. And I've always told the story about like a hentai that I was watching, and I was just really, let's just say, enjoying it. And all of a sudden, I just heard this girl say Nissan, and I was like, oh, okay, I just need to go delete my history, delete my Pornhub account, and then just delete everything off of my computer because I have just committed a cardinal sin. So that is why I go to two churches now. So anyway, incest is one of incest is definitely up there in terms of negatives. So I guess Michael, take that. You can talk about positives, negatives. Who cares?
Nope.
We're throwing everything out.
I'm going all negatives first.
Okay.
I'm gonna just combat Johnny's immediately. As I did with our other episode, and that has to be specifically fan service, because fan service I feel like should be specifically for
Fans.
certain genres.
Oh, okay.
And Johnny did release a video about fan service and what fan service is, and fan service isn't just the lewd stuff, but I am specifically talking about the lewd stuff. Like I think in your video you talked about like an explosion could be fan service, right?
Mhm.
Because it's unnecessary. It didn't belong in that scene, but they're like, oh, this is going to look really cool if we make the explosion like 10 times as big for no reason. Like, okay, I get that. And I think normally that's fine. But lewd fan service, I believe, really distracts at times from the overall story that's going on. And to Johnny's point, I think most of the time it could be appropriate, but this is the point I bring across is if you're watching, like I would say like a slice of life anime, and it's all about, simple high school interactions, and then suddenly there's a big tittied lady like coming down who's barely wearing any clothes, and you're trying to watch this with kids, like it's totally nice and normal, and then like suddenly big titties come out across the screen. You're like, whoa, this is crazy. I mentioned Restaurant to Another Universe, Another World, which I just mentioned as a positive, has nudity in the first episode when it's about food, but not food like Food Wars is. Like, it's just about food and like people from a place where culinary arts aren't as advanced enjoying it. And my biggest problem is like, it really makes all anime TV 14 and above. And that's an issue because children's anime shouldn't only need to be like Pokemon, where it's just kid stuff all the time. It can be about adult themes like Avatar: The Last Airbender, but fan service causes that. Basically, the problem with fan service is that it's just thrown in willy-nilly at all anime. And I love it when fan service is mainly locked into fan service, the genre, like Peter Grill, like that's TNA all the way. But I hate it when it's thrown into these other anime that, kids would appreciate and, understand and be able to watch something that's a little above their age range. But then you're just like, oh, here's some TNA, now you've got to stop watching with your kids because you don't know if that's going to pop up again. So that's my biggest issue with fan service is it's all fine for adults. Like that doesn't matter. But when you're trying to get kids into anime and constantly you have, I guess like Naruto, where he turns into a naked female version of himself for his own master and other adults around him, or like, how do you explain that to a child? And how do they understand that in a healthy way? I don't think you do. Or, you're watching Food Wars and people are orgasming all over the place to food, but you just want to show kids like what food anime looks like. I won't even mention Prison School. You should not be watching that with kids, but but like, that's an example, like Prison School and a lot of those anime, you watch that, you're adults, 18 plus, 17 plus, but other anime you're trying to watch with your kids. Like, what if Sweetness of Lightning just suddenly had TNA in the middle of it? Or, what if Pokemon, you suddenly had like Jinx, but what if you just suddenly had, big TNA, or Officer Jenny and Nurse Joy just suddenly looked like the most sexy possible, and all of their skirts were really short, and all of their police uniforms were really tight. It's like, that's a kid's show for kids.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, like, it's not like, oh my goodness, like that's obviously lewd. So
yeah, and imagine Misty wearing shorts all the time. That'd be crazy.
that would be crazy.
By the way, you can look up all that stuff on your own time. There are videos. I can suggest them. Anyway.
I believe we saw like that Misty like that in a golf game we're playing, like mini golf. Anyways, speech over. Go to Johnny.
Because I didn't pay attention and went against the grain, I'm going to keep going with my positives.
Nice.
Oh, that's fine.
So
lift people up.
This one is actually, I might even have to make this a takeout too, but I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Because I was thinking about it earlier with watching Mashako Tensei, and how I really like how it every once in a while there's no opener and there's no closer and they just go straight into it. But I mean, at the same time, I also really like seeing openers that are really fun and illustrate, what am I trying to say, the atmosphere of the anime really well. A good example is Kobayashi's Dragon Maid. That first season, it's all over the place. It's super fun, and I feel like it kind of encapsulates what the anime is. It's a lot of different personalities and different things coming together. And as much as I like seeing more content to the anime, I do still really like seeing really fun openers. And, well, I guess I could deal without spoilers in the openers. That's the one thing I'll say. But yeah,
One Piece.
Yeah, One Piece definitely One Piece.
Like
Get outta here.
Seki-kun's like perfect. Like it's like quick, short little intro and outro. Like it gets you right into what the anime is about, and then it's like, okay, to the show.
Yeah.
But you got One Piece that's like, hey, we thought of this cool thing. We're gonna show you what's gonna happen in the episode. It's like, why? Or like My Hero, where it was like, hey, here's some reveals. Actually, One Piece did it again, where we saw like Kaido's true form, like
2 episodes in advance.
yeah,
See that?
yeah. But yeah, I agree, Johnny. Except it was like that one short form anime where you said, I think Lucky also had one where half the episode was the opener.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, we don't.
No,
need
that's
that.
true. I don't need that. I mean, it's not a perfect system, but I do still really like really awesome openers, I guess.
Okay, Lucky, positive or
Nice.
negative?
I'm going
Which way you
positive
going?
this time. Actually, to just add a little bit
So you
more
just
to
flip a coin.
what yeah, dude, I'm fucking Two-Face over here, bitch. Fucking but yeah, to add to Johnny's point, one of the things there was a really cool way that they did this in Naruto Shippuden where shoot, I mean, I don't know if I can spoil anything from Shippuden, but you know, if you haven't seen it, this is a minor spoiler. There's a character that dies early on in the series, and they changed the intro from like one intro to the next one where it shows actually kind of what happened to him, but it's the same song. I fucking love that they did that. It added a lot to it, so you have to like still listen to the song, and it used to be like a happy song, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh, it's so I get it so much. By the way, closer from it.
Dream.
Not exactly, but yeah, that'd be fucking hilarious. Closer from Inoue Joe, one of the best fucking intros of that anime. But yeah, speaking of Naruto, just like the Pain arc in general. Last time, I mean, not last time. When I was thinking about this out loud in another session that we were doing, one of the things that I'd mentioned is just how much Pain's story tends to kind of go parallel with Naruto's story, but also tends to break off in the sense that Pain has a lot of backstory with with Konoha. Konoha being the aggressor in a war that just kind of destroyed his homeland, and just how complex Pain is. Like, dude, there have been so many times where I've gone back to this fight and I just learned some new aspect on life. It was actually one of the first, like, I don't know why I brought a mic in here. I was I was OCDing up for a second, but there was just so much to his character that people still like analyze it today. And you know, when you get to see like a reaction video to it, people have all kinds of different reactions. Oh, he's kind of right here, or no, he's completely wrong, look what he did to the village. And I just love that like moral ambiguity to villains, whereas you have somebody like Orochi more recently in One Piece, not to spoil anything, but he's just a very bad guy for like really bad reasons. I mean, you kind of get some backstory to him, but it's like, there's no, like, you know, you can't really sympathize with him at all. Whereas Pain, it's really easy to like see his side of the story, and even if you don't agree with him, you definitely understand that you at least understand that he has an answer, a well thought out answer to something that Naruto has no answer to. So I've always enjoyed that about Pain. So if we can just keep getting villains like him in anime, that would be awesome. Or just copy and paste him. Just put Pain in other animes and let's see how he does. That would be freaking awesome. Pain is my favorite anime villain of all time. Put him in Berserk. That'd be fucking awesome.
Just anime.
Just anime, yeah. Just oh my god. So Michael, go ahead with your negative
Well,
Nancy.
Hey. Well, you know, you got a good point. I mean, like, if you look at like DBZ, well, it's really fun, great anime. Most of its villains are just like, why do you want to kill everybody? I want to kill everybody. Oh.
They're just as fucking simple as Goku and why he wants to protect
exactly.
everybody.
Like Frieza, Cell. I mean, Majin Buu might have been the most complex emotional character that you had almost the entire series,
Yeah,
right?
that's true. Mm-hmm.
I mean, because he was literally so divided about whether he should fight or not or kill everybody. He literally ripped himself in half. So, I mean, until you got the Super was a little bit better, like with emotional ties to things. I want to not have my planet destroyed.
Yeah, Goku's an asshole.
Yeah, and then Goku's an asshole. So, my positive, I have two little ones. And I'm sure Lucky's going to get into it because I remember from our I mean, from right now that he has one that's like mine. First of all, the first one we should get rid of is power levels. Power levels are dumb, and you don't need to describe somebody being powerful by a number. It's the silliest thing that anime has done besides describing what's happening literally in the anime. So, as we got better with localization, we can now ditch the number. You can show somebody being strong or not by what they do. We know Goku's strong by when he, shoots a beam out and it blows up a mountain. We know One Punch Man is strong by him punching and then the clouds across part of the earth divide. We understand that contextually. We don't need to see, a number proof, because eventually, we know a farmer equals power level 5, but once you start getting into the 100,000s, nobody cares anymore. Nobody's doing the division of going okay, take that number, divide it by 5. That's how much stronger he is from a
Except for
normal
Death
person.
Battle.
Yeah, exactly. They're the only ones who are getting anything out of it, right?
Yeah.
And the other one I have is loser harems. Nobody likes watching a harem anime. Well, I guess nobody. Lucky, I really don't like watching a harem anime, and our main dude or main lady is a big loser, and there's no reason why everybody should be into this person, unless it's magically done or some other way is done. But girlfriend is a funny one. That's kind of a harem anime, and I don't know what you guys think about it, but I mean, he's kind of a respectable kind of guy because he really tries to talk his way through things and try to get people to understand. The Kiss Note one, I was like, that guy is pretty understandable to have a harem. He's really trying to go out of his way to help everybody around him. I'm like, okay, personality, great. But whenever you have a guy who's just literally the worst, I hate that. Yeah. Well, I think that ends my all my negatives. Now I'm a positive guy.
He's still gonna find a way to make it negative. I know it. Go ahead, Johnny.
I might.
My positive is leaving my brain as I speak. Oh my god! Okay, I got it back. That was insane. Peeping out. I gotta stop doing it. It just leaks out my ear. So I want to keep. I
was wondering what was going on in your face. I was like, John, I was like, I don't want to say your name, but it's your turn. And you're like, you get back. The guy with Clay with me. Chancing meatballs, the tear that goes down. He's like, "You get back in there."
I was thinking about it for too long, and so then when it came down to the moment, it was like, "Oh, I gotta go." So I want to keep shouting out your special move in anime because I think it's a good tool for build up. I think it really is a good way to kind of bring a scene to its climactic, end. And I think if that were to kind of broaden out into a lot of other anime, I think there's a lot of potential for some crazy build up and intensity. You see some fan service and she's like, bah! She shouts out a move and be like Kaijo everywhere. So
bah!
Hey, I'm not a writer. Okay, I'm not writing this stuff yet. And besides, it's a casual
yet.
Anyway.
No, that's the fan service he was talking about. He said bah, and some beam shoots out of her chest.
Oh, see, he's already halfway there. He's already doing it for me.
Yeah,
hey, you want a job? No.
Yeah.
So I always think that's fun. Even going back to the iconic, just Kamehameha. That's always a fan favorite. So, I think it has a lot of potential, and I think we should broaden its horizons.
Seven Deadly Sins actually does that nice because sometimes they don't say it; it just flashes across the bottom of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's also a wonderful way to do it.
Yeah, you don't have to show the face; just full counter.
Yeah, exactly. Like we know what the move is
bah,
called.
Full counter.
Yep. That's Elizabeth's special move. She's like,
favorite.
bah, full counter, Meliodas. He's like, ah, don't show me on purpose.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that sounds about right. It's not cool if you're into it. Anyway, let me see over here. I guess I'll switch back and forth since I'm that guy right now. Negatives. So I absolutely hate violent love interests. So whenever a love interest gets violent, it's just really weird to me. And I was trying to think about it, right? You typically only see it in girls, Like it'll be like some redhead chick.
Tsunderes,
Yeah, and I think it's actually technically yanderes.
Oh, it is
Yeah,
yandere,
yeah,
yeah.
yanderes. Because sunderes are the ones that act all shy and stuff. Like, oh, I don't really need you to do this. So they're kind of like passively aggressive. But these bitches are fucking overly aggressive. In girlfriend, there's the redhead girl. I'm not gonna remember her name off the top of my head, but she just beats the shit out of this dude, like
Yeah,
relentlessly.
she does.
You gotta raise your hand.
Like
Pretty rude.
like
That's what-
pretty
No, you're a
pretty
teacher.
bad.
Raise your hand for you.
It's pretty bad, but you
Huh.
guys definitely agree with me on that. It was pretty fucking bad. It's like the first episode. She beats the shit out of this
Pretty
dude.
violent.
Yeah.
And you
Until you have
know,
the other one that's really nice and soft.
yeah, and that one's fine, right? Like I get that. I mean, she's a little too soft and okay with everything, but either way, I'd rather have her than the violent one. When she's of age, haha, got you assholes, trying to catch
Done.
me slipping.
No,
Yeah,
you
see?
can cut that out. It's
See,
too late.
Lucky's not about lollies either.
They've already got the
Exactly.
soundbite.
Exactly. So, anyway, going back to that, like, dude, that was actually what stopped me from getting into Toradora. Still something I want to get into at some point, but I just hate it when somebody's just super aggressive. And if you think about it, like the other way, would you want a guy beating the shit out of a girl who's his love interest, unless they were like 5 years old? You know, like boys
Yes,
used to do
because
that.
of equality.
Yeah, he was equality. he just. Sorry, I was just imagining Goku beating the fuck out of Chi-Chi. Just like, oh, he does do that. Wait, do you guys remember when he smacks her and she goes into a rock? Oh,
I kind of do.
Wow.
I think it was an
okay.
accident, but yeah.
Equality though. So yeah, we'll just go with that. Maybe Krillin beats the shit out of
figured.
18 in order to, gain her favor. I don't know. But yeah, either way, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but now that I'm thinking about it, that would actually be kind of funny to just turn everything on its head. But yeah, if you're going to like somebody, just like, you don't have to outwardly say it, but don't outwardly, be a bitch to them either. So either way,
Lucky,
violent
emotions.
Yeah, emotions. I'm sorry. It's too much emotion.
No more yanderes.
No more.
Yeah,
That Yandere Simulator will make you change your. if you like Yanderes, play Yandere Simulator, and you'll figure out exactly why I hate them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see. Which one of my positives I want to touch on first? You know what?
Can't
I'll
even
do
find
another
them.
small one. I'll put all my small ones together. The small one I want to touch on today is the next time ons or preview moment in anime. I am you know what? I will make it a little bit negative. F you, Lucky.
I knew it.
I'm like probably 75-25 on I like them. I think about 25% of the time they're done poorly and they revealed too much of the next episode, One Piece. And the problem with that is you have shows like Demon Slayer that do them so well. I think Dragon's Maid also does it so well. Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, that is. And they do it in a way that makes it like a little short, where the characters can talk to each other and kind of reveal something going on the next episode. I believe some of the older anime, I don't remember, maybe Yu Yu Hakusho also did it like that, where they had like a little set aside moment at the very end where one of the characters would narrate over the end of the show. And I think that's all a great way to do it. But that's a moment where you can add more personality to it. But then you have other moments where they're just like, hey, and here's, 10 minutes of the next episode. It's like, okay, when you're already dedicating like 10 of those minutes to the preview, the opener, the end OP, and the next time on, it's like, okay, like you need to stop showing only 17 minutes of anime. You need to fill up that, 25 minutes or 30 minutes of time with actual, meat.
Yeah, or at least like put like an after credit scene like Marvel, and some of the animes do that, but either way.
Mhm. And that leads to that point too. Like the after credit scenes are great, and as long as you do this like next time on short enough and with enough personality, what Heaven's design team does an amazing one at the end of all their episodes, where they go, let's teach you a little bit about a real life animal, and then show you a little bit what's next time on. Restaurant from Another World, like. They just go next time on and they show you the 2 foods and like 2 scenes from the next episode. I'm like, that's perfect. You don't show anything. Nobody knows what's going to happen next episode, but you get to whet your appetite a little bit for the next food that you're going to see. So reduce them down, but keep them. Every show could use them.
I would like to get rid of
There we go.
It's gone. What? Give it back. Give it back. I would like to get rid of censors. I'm just not a fan of it, and I don't even say that from a purely like, give me the fan service. I don't know. It detracts from the scene that I'm watching. And so I don't know. If anything, it doesn't have to be like you got to show everything. I mean, if anything, just think of a better way to not show it.
A fireplace.
Yeah, just show the corner of a fireplace for solid 45 seconds.
And then a hot metal rod.
So I mean, that's the thing. I think I would just like it if there was a better way to do it. Because I mean, even they were watching someone on YouTube, and he was talking about even these like blinding lights and on
the anime
talking about
man.
World End Harem or something, the one that's not out, and that really got me disappointed. I was like, oh great, now I'm gonna be totally distracted by that. I don't know. I just think it's better to kind of not take away from the scene. I mean, even for like Redo of Healer, I mean, sure. I mean, not everybody can really watch that, but almost the point of that happening is because it's supposed to be embarrassing for her. I mean, I think it's actually supposed to be cringeworthy. So it's almost like you kind of should watch it. But I mean, to each his own. I just personally, I would like it away. Just leave it alone.
I think the only thing you've ever appreciated is the tasteful elephant.
That's true. I mean, not all
Peter Grill.
not all censors are bad. Some of them are pretty funny. The elephant is one that's pretty comical.
The one from Why the Hell Are You Here, Sensei? Where it was like just a picture of
they do, if I remember it, like a sticker, like advertising their show. I don't remember what it was specifically. And even not a fan service one is the vomit one. Whenever you see someone vomiting, they start vomiting rainbows. I mean, that's actually kind of funny. I don't mind that. I don't need to see like literal like Food Wars level chunks of food falling out of someone's mouth.
And then they have rainbows on their lips, and it's funny.
So yeah, I think censors, they can get out of here.
Yeah, I mean,
know what you're watching.
To the point what I said earlier with the fan service, it's like if you're gonna watch a fan service anime, you already know what you're getting into. So what's the point of not showing it? I think Interspecies Reviewers like does an amazing job without censoring their show very much. You know, if you're gonna watch an animal person lay an egg, I think you can kind of show whatever you want on a show.
That is fine to censor. That's okay.
We found where Johnny draws the line on that.
What's it called? Avipus. It's something. It's got a horrible name. I don't know.
I'm only imagining it right now. Well, while Michael looks that up, why don't we go into some lightning?
Are you making me look it up?
It looked like you were. I don't know. And you seem like the kind of person that would look that up. But anyway, I'm assuming a lot of you today, Michael. That's crazy.
Yeah, apparently.
So why don't we do a little bit of a lightning round? Actually, to
oviposition.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's it.
What was it called?
Oviposition.
Jesus. Okay.
Or ovophilia.
Yeah.
Basically, the love of eggs is what I'm assuming.
It's terrible.
That sounds
terrible and deplorable.
Anyway, let's get away from that for a second. But yeah, one of the times that the censoring throw up actually did throw me off a little bit was when All Might punches Bakugo and he throws up like white, and I was just like, really? We can't show that here, dude? This guy's beating the shit out of his students, and we can't show a little like green.
Bakugo
like
only drinks milk.
Yeah, I guess so. So
Wink.
yeah, he only goes to the saunas and drinks that freaking that flavored milk or whatever the hell it is. I really want some of that, dude. Well, speaking of which, why don't we do that lightning round? So speaking of that, Japanese culture, I'd love to keep. I love how much Japanese culture you learn, just like I was talking about earlier with the saunas and how they go in there and then drink whatever flavored like milk they have. There are the fucked up backstories, obviously. I love me some Berserk, and thank you for the birthday gift, by the way, Michael, of Berserk, this gigantic... Do I even have it near me? It's too heavy. I'm not going to go over there and lift it, but it's this gigantic book that Michael got me with, the Berserk manga in it. It's very nice.
First volume, baby.
Yeah, there we go. Villains like Aizen, so basically these masterminds that are just the reason why the whole anime started, is basically the idea of it. And then they did it jokes. So basically the jokes where it's like you expect them to do something and then they do the opposite, and then one of the characters just points it out. I actually like that. I actually really like those. In terms of negatives, Yeah, exactly right. That's a lot of them, dude. In terms of negatives, there are, as Michael said earlier, the beta male harem protagonist. Anime with fan service that doesn't commit, so it's kind of like the opposite of what we were talking about earlier. But just anime with fan service that's like, hey, we're just gonna show a little. We're just gonna kind of tease it a little bit. It's like if you're gonna tease it a little bit, just go all the fucking way, dude. I don't need to see like I don't need to be teased, dude. I
You know, was it High School of the Dead? I thought that was like one of those anime. I was like, why didn't you just go all the way with it? Like, I mean, you showed so much TNA in that show. You might as well just gone all the way.
Yeah, seriously. And I was especially when that girl's like kicking ass and you can see her
Special,
panties and her titties bouncing. You're like, okay, come on. Like, what? We gotta see somebody fuck a zombie at some point. But anyway, there are whiny protagonists. Just can't stand whiny protagonists, bro. If you're gonna be a protagonist, like you can you can be sad and all that kind of stuff. Like there's great moments where that happens, but
Luke Skywalker.
yeah, but you know, you can't just you can't be like Luke Skywalker just saying that's impossible for fucking ever, dude. Like it gets old after a while, so I won't need to see you you know, get that out of your system and then move on. And then of course, characters not getting fleshed out. Fucking Rock Lee, perfect example of this. If you're gonna introduce an awesome character like that, you need to flesh them out. You can't just like forget about them and just decide, oh, by the way, we're gonna focus on like 2 characters. You know what it reminds me of is those games where they say, oh, each one of your choices matter, but they have like 3 endings. You know, it's like, how do all of my choices matter if I only get like 3 endings? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So, anyway, Michael, what are the last of your positives? I believe.
Yeah, let's finish off with my positivity.
man.
I only got 2 left, and one I might go a little bit more in depth on. I think it's always fine to have a romance in all anime. I think it's fine, and I even think it's good to the point where you could just have main character romance. We don't need to make this like, you know, a love triangle or, you know, like several layers deep. I think romance, I mean, like One Piece is literally called like romance, what's it called? Break of Romance Dawn. Like that's what the first One Piece title was. And I think that's great. Like you can put it in everything and I'll be happy, but you gotta finish off. You gotta get to the end. You know, they don't need to get the D, they don't need to get the V, and you don't need to watch that happen. But I always like it when you see like a potentially happy ending with these characters. You know, we don't want to get to the end and be like, oh, will they, won't they? Will they, won't they? This ain't Friends. Like, we don't care about it that much. Like set it up, knock it out of the park. And that goes into my next thing poorly. Tournament arcs. Tournament arcs need to be in everything. Everything needs a tournament arc. If it's a slice of life, tournament arc. We get, you know, let them play dodgeball with the rival teams around the neighborhood and like let's beat them up. You know, it's a food anime, tournament arc. We need that in there. Action anime, tournament arc. Is this a romance anime? Well, tournament arc that shit. You know, tournament arc every single day because it's always exciting to see many people fighting in some way with their special powers. It's always good.
Okay.
Prove me wrong.
I won't do it.
I want to get rid of
Close.
I guess, is that what to call it? I would call it instead of openers, closers. Just because I was thinking about it when you were talking about it before, as far as you know, little ending scenes and you know, next time on and that stuff. Admittedly, I don't hate that, but the problem is it'll happen when I don't know about it at first, and I'll just like watch so many episodes while skipping it, and then I'll just be like, oh my god, there's been this thing all this time. Like unless there's like a solid 5 minutes left, like in the anime, I don't know. Like if they do like 45 seconds, I'm like, oh, there's probably nothing there. I'm just gonna fast forward it. Plus, I mean, then there's not the issue of if I want to go and watch something that someone's already watched, you know, I don't have to restart it or I get spoiled on something because that happens sometimes. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think they're necessary because most of the time we're trying to skip it to go to the next episode anyway.
Or see the end credit scene. Yeah. You got any more, Johnny?
No.
I'm going to add one to Johnny because we just had a casual discussion about it. Movies that recover the anime series.
Okay.
Let's ditch those. We don't need them anymore unless they fully replaced the anime series. That's just what I wanted to add. The last casual discussion, we talked about that as our main discussion point.
That's actually funny because let's say in another universe where we ended up recording this again, if we ended up recording this the first time, that was actually one of Johnny's points that he mentioned. I just remembered it off the top of my head right now. But anyway,
didn't.
yeah. But anyway,
alternate version of Johnny.
exactly. But speaking of which, there's an alternate version where this keeps going, but unfortunately that's not this version. Remember, guys, you can check out all things casual at the link tree in the description box down below. Also, if you'd like to email us, you can email us at animecasuals with an S, real REAL at gmail.com. But as always, guys, don't forget to keep
Tit.
No, it doesn't. Casual. Sorry. That's pretty good.